Well, Eric, that's wonderful news.
And long overdue, I would say.
I hope it's true. Thank you.
Well, don't worry. As far as I'm concerned, this was my last therapy session with Sheila.
And you think that you're going to get the divorce?
Oh, I'll file in the next week or so.
I'm just astounded that she's agreed to psychiatric treatment with James.
Well, she agreed to one intensive session.
Did you have to twist her arm?
No, she agreed willingly. I'm just hoping that once James goes one-on-one with Sheila, she'll be forced to see that this marriage is over.
Well, you hope that he'll get her to accept the idea of the divorce.
And I can get on with my life.
Well, you know, I think you deserve a lot of happiness.
So do I. You know, I have to remember to call up to Big Bear and get Curtis to turn on the heat in the cabin.
Oh, you going up?
No, Sheila and James are. That's where they're going to be having their battle of wits.
He's going to do therapy with her up in that cabin, isolated like that?
Well, James says in cases like this, he needs to be alone with his patient, sort of outside of the office environment. He's putting aside everything to do this. Even some international business, some call he was expecting. He's setting it all aside.
Well, it was very generous of you to offer the use of the cabin.
Well, I didn't. That was Sheila's idea.
It was Sheila's idea to go up to an isolated cabin?
Yes. That bothers you. Why?
Well, James alone with her in a cabin, yes, of course it bothers me. It makes me nervous. It makes me very nervous.
Can I come in?
What do you want, Michael?
So, how'd your session go with Eric and James?
Great for Eric. Lousy for me.
How so?
Oh, well, if Eric has his way, our counseling sessions are over.
Well, what's the verdict so far?
He's forcing me to lay on Work's couch so that I can be analyzed.
Ah, what a drag. How often? Once a week, twice a week?
No, it's gonna be a one-time deal. Just me and my head shrinker at the cabin in Big Bear.
Big Bear? For how long?
A couple of days.
Well, check the weather report, Sheila. Last thing you want is to end up in a blizzard with Dr. Feelgood.
Look, Michael, this is it. This could be the only chance I have to save my marriage.
Question is, what are you gonna do?
My options are limited. I have thought long and hard about this. My hands are tied behind my back. There's nothing I can do. I'm gonna have to come clean, Michael, with everything. I'm gonna have to tell the truth.
All right, darling, make sure you coordinate your list with delivery before that shipment goes out, okay?
Gotcha.
Hello, Saul.
I was wondering, what's the latest on Macy?
Well, she's still in the hospital, of course. Resting comfortably the last time I called.
And what about the biopsy?
Oh, it's scheduled for later on today.
Yes, so we'll have the results, and then we'll know one way or the other. But if that growth turns out to be cancerous, I just don't know what I'm going to do.
Now, Sally, I have a good feeling about that test. That tumor is going to be benign. You mark my words.
From your mouth to God's ear, Saul.
Maybe I'll take a break. I'll go over to the hospital, keep her company for a while. Macy shouldn't be alone at a time like this.
It's all right, Saul. She's not alone.
Huh? Who's there?
Thorne.
Yeah, he hasn't left her side since they got back.
What about Anthony? He can't be too happy about that.
No, he's not.
It's too bad. I like Anthony. He's a good man. He's got a big heart and talented. But if you ask me, when it comes to Thorne and Macy, in the long run, nothing can keep them apart.
We've been through so much, you and me. And now this. And Macy, when this ordeal is over, and it's going to be over very soon, I'm going to make up to you for all the time that we've lost. There's still so much for you and me to do. Things that we should have done a long time ago.
Before I go into surgery, I have to ask you to promise me something.
Anything.
I want you to walk out that door. And don't look back.
What did you just say?
Please, Thorne, it was torture enough the first time. Don't make me say it again.
You want me to leave?
Yes.
Honey, you're not making any sense here.
I believe I am. I think for the first time in my life, I'm making perfect sense.
Why, Macy? Tell me why you want me to leave.
It's just not meant to be.
What is not meant to be?
What do you think?
You're upset. You're worried about this surgery, Macy.
Thorne, just leave. Just walk out that door and forget all about me.
I can't do that. So please don't ask me to do that, Macy,
Thorne,
because I'm not.
I need to be alone. Please, just let me be alone.
Macy, we just had this big talk. We opened up our hearts to each other like we haven't in years. I thought we felt the same way about each other.
We do.
You don't trust me? Is that it?
Of course I trust you.
Macy, I hurt you. I abandoned you, and I have regretted it for a very long time now, but I have made a promise to myself that I will never, ever repeat those mistakes again. Believe me, Macy, I am not going to let you go. Not now or not ever.
It's not up to you. It's not up to me or you. I wish it was, but it's not.
I promise you that all of the pain and the hell that we have been through is over.
I wish you were right.
I am right.
No. The real pain is just beginning. And it's gonna get a lot worse before it's over, Thorne. A lot worse.
You tell the truth?
Sure, why not?
You're kidding.
Don't act like I'm not capable, Michael. Especially if this is the only way for me to hold on to Eric. No more secrets.
Those secrets of yours better stay right where they are, tucked away from prying eyes. Because if you come clean with all the dirt you've been hiding, you are gonna have plenty of time to think about Eric. In the slammer. No, surrender is not the way to go.
Oh, yeah, and what about James? He's been after me for months.
Ever since the death of your ex-shrink, Jay Garvin.
Accidental death.
Right.
Well, now it's going to be me and James. All alone at the cabin in Big Bear, just the two of us.
The guy is dangerous, Sheila. He's a genius at getting people to reveal things.
Most people may be.
Look, if you go head-to-head with Warwick, you are going to end up a loser. Unless you give yourself an edge.
Edge?
You know what I mean, Sheila. Edge as an advantage.
As in a plan?
Bingo.
Whose idea do you think it was to go to the cabin in Big Bear in the first place?
Yours?
Bingo.
You've already got a plan in the works, don't you?
Why does this make you nervous, Stephanie?
James and Sheila involved in intensive psychiatric therapy could trigger something.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it?
Suppose she becomes violent.
Stephanie, listen. Sheila may be a lot of things. Some of them might actually be unpleasant, but I've never known her to be violent.
Well, I'm worried.
Well, nothing's going to happen.
How do you know that? This could be a tragic mistake. James up there alone with her in a cabin, why, he might be placing his life in jeopardy.
You think she intends to harm Warwick?
Nothing surprises me where Sheila is concerned.
Well, I don't. Besides, Warwick can take care of himself.
I hope that he can take better care of himself than Dr. Garvin did.
Oh, come on, Stephanie. You're not still maintaining that Sheila had something to do with Dr. Garvin's fall from that balcony.
I certainly am.
It was ruled an accident.
She had a hand in his death, Eric.
I refuse to believe that. It's preposterous.
Well, I don't want to get into an argument with you. I'll just be glad when this chapter of your life is finally over.
Sheila and I just weren't ever meant to be, were we? You think it took me long enough to figure that out?
I never really lost faith in you.
Yeah? Must have seemed like a pretty lost cause.
Well, you were out there wandering a long time, but I knew you'd come back.
Well, now I have to take care of some very unpleasant business.
What's the problem?
I'm going to visit Sally Spectra, and I'm going to tell her to stay the hell away from Jessica and every place else she doesn't belong. Especially Dylan's trial.
I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss Anthony if I were you, Saul.
I'm calling it like I see it.
Sal, it almost sounds like you're in Anthony's corner.
Oh, no, darling, no. I'm in nobody's corner but Macy. I just want what my daughter wants.
So who do you think it's going to be?
Thorne. And you can take that to the bank.
Well, I can't deny you may be right, Saul. All you had to do was be there at that concert in Rotterdam to see how they were together. Nobody could fake that kind of feeling. They were so beautiful together, so beautiful.
Exactly. And why? Because they were in love. They have always been in love, and they always will be in love. Period. End of story.
Well, maybe so, Saul, but you can't just ignore the past, can you? I mean, Thorne and Macy put themselves through a considerable amount of hell over the years. And I can't help but be afraid that they may be in for more of the same.
No, Sally, you're wrong about that. Thorne and Macy were meant to be together. They are going to have clear sailing from here on out. And I'm going to tell you why.
What do you mean our pain is just going to get worse? What do you mean by that?
Thorne, the pain I'm talking about doesn't have to be our pain. If you walk out that door and you forget all about me.
Macy, that is an impossibility, so do yourself a favor right now and just forget that idea. Just wipe that from your mind because it's not going to happen.
Thorne, I won't let you suffer. And if you stay here, believe me, you will suffer.
What happened, Macy? Have the doctors talked to you already?
No, they didn't need to, Thorne, because I already know the truth.
What truth?
I have this feeling. I have this intuition, and it's stronger than anything I've ever felt in my life.
Well, tell me.
I believe I have cancer.
Macy, they haven't even done the biopsy yet.
I don't need a biopsy.
You
Thorne,
are
I already know.
scared. You are scared.
Thorne, listen to me. If I am right about this, then I'm in for the fight of my life, and it's a fight that I may not win. It's going to be ugly, and it's going to be grueling, and the only thing that is going to make it worse for me is to watch you go through it too. To see my agony reflected back to me through your eyes. Don't do that to me, Thorne, please. Don't do that to yourself.
You seem pretty convinced, Saul.
Yes, I've been around the block a couple of times. I know true love when I see it.
Okay. You got the floor. Suppose you try to convince me and Darla why you think Thorne and Macy are such a sure thing.
Things were very difficult for them. The odds were against them from the very beginning. It was like Romeo and Juliet. caught in the wars between the families. The Forresters at war with the Spectres.
You're right, Saul. They didn't stand a chance.
But what happened?
Well, what happened was they got married anyway.
Exactly. Because their love was stronger than that foolishness between their families.
Well, come on, Saul, you have to admit, I mean, their marriage was pretty rocky, you know.
It was. Things were verblunget from the word go. But there were problems, misunderstandings, and yet they stayed together. They survived. Maybe not as husband and wife, but if you want my opinion, they are going to tie the knot again. Because Thorne and Macy have something special between them. They have an incredible history. They loved, they suffered, and they loved again stronger than before. They've grown, they've matured, and they've done it together. Soulmates. That's what they are. And Sally, nothing can keep soulmates apart. Nothing in this world.
Macy, stop that. Now stop talking like you're dying.
I can't help it, Thorne. I just cannot shake this feeling.
Macy, you have got to be positive here. You can't do this.
Thorne, I cannot be positive about my future. But I do have my past, and I have my memories. Especially the memories of us. The two of us. Together on that stage in Rotterdam.
And there are going to be more concerts, Macy. There are going to be dozens more.
I can't count on that. But I do know that our dream came true one night. One magical night. And I will never forget it for as long as I live.
If I would have known you were sick, I would have carried you right off that stage.
Well, then I know I did the right thing in not telling you.
Macy.
I can still feel it. I can still feel the way it was. You and me, alone on that stage. And the warmth of that audience. There's no hassles, no family problems, nobody trying to keep us apart. Just you and me and our music. We were so connected. And in love. It was the greatest moment of my life.
Mine too.
And that is how I want you to remember us. Happy. Connected. Not like this. Not here. Not with all this sickness and this pain. That is not what we are about.
Nothing is going to happen to you. Do you hear me? Nothing. You've got to believe that, and don't do this to yourself.
I'm so proud of you. Do you know that? I'm so proud of us. For that one brief moment. We really made it. And we had it all.
And we still do. We can still have it.
Good afternoon, Macy.
Doctor?
It's time to get you prepped for the biopsy. Now, no need to worry. Everything's going to be okay, all right? Very quick, very painless. I just want you to relax and don't get too stressed out, okay? All right. I'll see you down there.
Better go now.
I'm going to be waiting here.
No, Thorne, no. Don't spoil the memory. Don't spoil the memory.